on Nightline, a dictator speaks. In a network exclusive, ABC's Barbara Walters travels to the Middle East to confront a leader blamed with killing thousands of his own people. With revolution in the air, the future of the entire region in the balance, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad faces American cameras for the first time since the crackdown began. In the streets, after months of media blackout, our team is allowed out in public, among the people, for a rare look at the culture of courage and fear under a watchful eye. And defiance and denial. Tonight, an extraordinary moment of accountability and hard questions. Special edition of Nightline, Syria, the Dictator Speaks, starts right now.
From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran, Cynthia McFadden, and Bill Weir in New York City. This is Nightline, December 7th, 2011.
Good evening, I'm Bill Weir, and tonight we bring you a special edition of Nightline. In a major network exclusive, ABC's Barbara Walters is just back from another Arab country seemingly on the brink of overthrowing another dictator's regime, Syria. Barbara is the first American television journalist allowed access to the country since a 9-month-old revolution began. She was invited there to conduct an extraordinary interview with the embattled Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, accused of a brutal crackdown that has taken at least 4,000 lives. Barbara, welcome home.
Thank you.
You have sat with Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, Mubarak. How does this man compare?
Very different. He's not a grim, strong man the way Mubarak was. He's not a wild, crazy person. At least that's the way Gaddafi seemed to us. He is calm. He is soft-spoken. He is articulate. He speaks very good English. There were no ground rules. He answered every question. But there is this disconnect, Bill, between what we hear about this country, the reports that we have seen, and what he says, and it's hard to put the two things together. It was the uprising captured by cell phone cameras and posted online for the world to see. Syrian protesters chanting for the removal of their president. The crackdown that resulted has been hard to ignore. Civilians gunned down on the street, the dead dragged away. The UN says 4,000 protesters have been killed, including more than 300 children. Enemies of the regime have taken up arms. And this man, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, once seen as a hope for change in a long repressive dictatorship, now has the attention of the world. Much of the world regards you as a dictator and a tyrant. What do you say to that?
What's important how the Syrian people look at you, not how you look at yourself. Anyone could have his own opinion, whether president or official or any citizen, the same for me, outside our border.
Public opinion doesn't matter.
Outside Syria?
Outside Syria?
No, it's a Syrian issue.
Syria's uprising began in March, after fellow Arab nations, Tunisia and Egypt, had thrown out their dictators, and as the world moved against Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. You have seen, I'm certain, the pictures of Egypt's former president Mubarak in jail, pictures of, in Libya, of Muammar Gaddafi killed. Are you afraid that you might be next?
No, I'm afraid that the people won't support me, Syrian people.
That they won't support you?
But I would be happy if they support me. I mean, the only thing that you could be afraid of as president, to lose the support of your people. That's the only thing that you should be afraid of.
Do you feel now that you still have the support of your people?
If you don't have the support of the people, you cannot be in this position. This is Syria. It's not easy. It's very difficult country to govern if you don't have the public support.
You feel the majority of the people in this country support you?
I said the majority are in the middle.
And
the majority are not against, to be precise.
Syria's Arab Spring began with a handful of teenagers writing anti-Assad graffiti on a school. Those children were taken away. Some reportedly were tortured. And people took to the streets, raging against the regime, and then came the crackdown. The crackdown in the beginning, the brutality, do you think it went too far?
I cannot tell you this without the evidence. You ask me to tell you according to rumors or to reports. It's not enough for me as president.
I've seen awful pictures of what happened. Why was there such a brutal crackdown?
What happened?
Well, I'll give you some examples. One example, the writer of a popular protest anthem calling for Assad to step down had his throat slit, and a well-known illustrator who mocked Assad also paid a heavy price. The cartoonist who is critical of you, I've seen his pictures, his hands were broken, he was beaten.
Many people criticized me. Did they kill all of them? Who killed who? Most of the people that are being killed are supporters of the government.
Did you give the order for the crackdown?
No, we give the order to implement the constitution and the law. We don't have policy, we don't have institution that kill people or give order for brutal reaction. This is individual, and that's what I describe as individual mistakes.
Okay, done by the military or done by whom?
We don't know everything.
But
in some cases done by the police, in some cases done by civilians. Civilians who support the government, not by government, not by police.
But not by your command?
No. We don't have, no one's command. There was no command to kill or to be brutal.
People went from houses to houses. Children were arrested. I saw those pictures.
But to be frank with you, Barbara, I don't live here. How did you know all this? We have to be here to see. We don't see this. So it cannot depend on what you hear in the United States.
I saw reporters who brought back pictures.
Yeah, but how did you verify those pictures? Yeah, so that's why we are talking about false allegations and distortion of reality.
Do you feel guilty?
I did my best to protect the people, so you cannot feel guilty when you do your best. You feel sorry for the life that has been lost, but you don't feel guilty when you don't kill people.
And this is Assad's main argument. His country, he says, is not on the brink of a civil war. The world has been duped by those violent videos, and that this is not a fight against peaceful protesters, but against armed opponents of the regime. That's what he says.
That's what he says. The U.S. State Department disagrees. After watching your interview, a spokesman said it's either disconnect, disregard, or he's crazy.
I vote for disconnect. He's not crazy.
When we come back, Barbara will take us around Damascus and confront the president further.
ABC News Nightline, brought to you